All right, so this is gonna be quick, fast, and a hurry intel. I'm not gonna get into having all the different shops. I'm not gonna get into all that. This is kind of gonna be what I think you're really gonna need when things go south. And with that being said, if you think things are going south right now, you should already be knee deep in this, right? This doesn't happen overnight, and this really never finishes. So, intelligence. There's a difference between intelligence and information. Um, Intelligence is actionable, and it feeds into our UDA, right? So observe, orient, decide, act. Um, if little Becky's favorite color is blue, um, and that's just info. But if you know that little Becky likes blue things and you want to know where little Becky's dad is, because it's time to go have a come to Jesus meeting with little Becky's dad, you hand her a dolly with a blue dress. That whole blue thing and her age just became actionable. All right, does that make sense? Yeah, cool. Area, surrounding area. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. But if it's not, I live in Seaville. Population, I'm not gonna give all my info, but it's somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500, or sorry, somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 homes, and there's somewhere between 3 and 5,000 people. That should be broad enough, right? But is your area, is it metro? Is it suburbs? Is it small town USA? Is it Booneyville? Where you at? So around Seaville is A, B, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Villes. And so I should have really, really deep intel on my area and then kind of deep intel on my surrounding areas. How do you get intel? All right, so we're going to skip ins for a second. We're going to skip surface signals for a second. Presence. What's your reputation? All right, if you're a liar, if you're known as a liar, if you are Jack the meth head's brother, and that is the only thing people know you for, or you're a swindler, or you cheated on your wife, or you beat up autistic kids, right? If that's who you're known as, if that's your reputation, intel is going to be really hard for you. Not only is it going to be really hard for you, but somebody might weaponize your reputation against you, and then instead of being an in, they're going to be false info, and they could really quickly get you killed. All right, so ins. Two things you need about ins. They're going to give you information, and they could give you influence. So, I am not from here. My biggest in is my wife. My wife is from here. Me being married to her puts me near some pretty powerful city influences, right? So her family has a good amount of influence in this area and in the surrounding areas, and they know a lot of people. So we don't go to the store, we go to Jim's store. We don't go here, we go to this family member's place, right? We utilize a lot of family. Um, so if I need to know something, I can just kind of go to people because they have info and they have influence, right? A lot of that can be handled at the kitchen table. Quite honestly, I don't really utilize it a whole lot. I utilize it enough that they're kind of used to it. That way, if something goes super sideways, I can be like, hey, and it won't shock them as much. All right, surface signals. Luna, come here, Luna. I want to talk to y'all about something super practical. I don't really care about how Jason Bourne does things. This is Luna. Luna is an in for me. The reason Luna is an in for me is I walk Luna 2-3 times a day, and people see me with Luna. And if a little kid wants to pet Luna, the policy is if it's okay with mom, it's okay with me. So I now get to walk wherever I want, and nobody really says anything to me because I'm not just some like weird, goofy shaped guy that's super lanky and real skinny. I'm now that, but with a dog. Yeah, Luna, you are an intelligent source. Good job. We love you. We love you, Luna. Yes, we do. And she's precious. All right. So surface signals. Stickers, flags, t-shirts, tattoos, um, jewelry that's very specific, that sort of thing, right? So, if you live in America, you have probably seen a pickup truck with a USMC circle. And the pickup truck is either one of two conditions. It's either rusted out or it's brand new and real pretty, right? Some reason that sticker does something to trucks, and it's either like the old work truck from grandpa's grandpa or it's brand new off the lot, right? So bumper stickers are going to be super valuable. So if I see certain logos, I know that that person has a kid that goes to the school near us. If I see other ones, I know they go to the other school. A lot of people turn their car into their brag board. So they'll have their kids' school, they'll have their place of work, their church, their favorite little boutique shop. And now I know a bunch of things about them without ever meeting them. You need to be aware of what's on the back of your car. Because if I know the school that your kids go to, the church you go to, the place that you work, I could very quickly figure out how much money you make, about where you live, and once again, about where you live. I know where you go to church, where your kids go to school. Bang. I have you narrowed down to a small area. I know how much money you make. Bang. I now have you narrowed down to a couple neighborhoods or a neighborhood or a street. And then all I have to do is wait a few hours, go drive around those areas, and see if that car with those 15 bumper stickers pulls up or is sitting somewhere. All right, so bumper stickers, all sorts of stickers, back of otter boxes, whatever. Flag, same thing, right? USMC is everywhere in this part of the world. You need to be aware of what you say to people with your flags, right? So here, the rebel flag doesn't necessarily mean you're a racist, but it does other places, right? I'm definitely not going to drive through South Los Angeles with a rebel flag. I might get shot, because that's what it means to them. We have a guy that lives not too far from here that has, I don't know, a dozen "We don't like Joe Biden" flags, right? FJB. He's got some really artistic ones. He has the Wizard of Oz, the Scarecrow, If I Only Had a Brain, but it's Joe Biden. It's kind of funny. I don't care what you think about the guy. That's funny. T-shirts, right? If you're wearing specific clothing, I know that you have money, right? If you're wearing a suit, it's real funny. I saw a guy in a suit one time, and the way he was walking, I was like, he's going to court. Drove by the courthouse. Guess who I saw walking to the courthouse? All right. Dead zones. A lot of times, this needs. I'm sorry, I messed up here. This has nothing to do with that. Dead zones. Not too far from here is an abandoned warehouse. The warehouse is missing a part of a wall, and it's super easy to get into. So if we were some bad dudes that lost our place to live, or even good dudes that lost our place to live, cool. We now have an area that's rather large. It's not super well heated, but you could start a fire in there. It's so vast and the ceilings are so high. You could start a fire in there pretty easy. Be pretty safe, and nobody's gonna know that you're there, right? Another example of this is stealth camping with like a van in parking lots, right? Not necessarily an RV, but a van, We're going to skip this on the bottom. We're going to go here. Organizations. You need to be aware of the organizations operating in your area. What churches are there? What gangs are there? What's the government like? What is the interaction between your city government and your county government and your state government, your city government and your state government, federal government? What do people think about the federal government, right? I like to walk into hardware stores and listen to men talk about gun laws, right? The AR pistol stuff going on now. That's really hilarious. It's a great source of info. And they need to be aware that the thing that I'm using to film this is not in our favor. So you need to be careful what you say in the presence of a phone. You need to be careful what you say in the presence of strangers. Families, all right? So, there's a lady who goes to church with me, and somebody said something mean to her, and her husband walked up. And real quick, that dude didn't realize he messed up. The way he messed up is that woman, that man that walked up to her, that was her husband. Her husband's the sheriff, right? Oftentimes in small town America, families run everything. 2 or 3 families will run the entire town. It is what it is. So you need to be aware of that. If you think that you're going to move to small town USA or even middle of nowhere, and start a little garden when the world collapses, all of this is going to be the death of you. So if you think you're going to move now. I did. I moved a year and a half ago. And I'm still, this is still getting built out. All right, so you're doing all this, right? A few ways to organize it. Maps and profiles, right? So have a map, and on my map, there would be the churches, right? Because those are organizations. Where the gangs are at, those would get little stickers as well. Government buildings, government officials, housing, that sort of thing. Where do predominant people in the community live? Who are they related to? All of that would be written down in profiles. Radios. In this area, it's not a big deal for a lot of people to have CB radios. There's several places that sell them around here. If you have a CB radio, stay off of it. Just listen. Just listen. Pay attention to what people are saying. If they don't think people are listening to them, especially a month into an event or right now, there's no security threat, right? People are going to get super lax a month in, 6 months in, whenever it happens. Plentiful notebooks, because when I hear something, I write it down. When I hear something interesting, I write it down in multiple areas, just so that we always are crunching info and we're aware of what's going on. This is what I think you should know as far as intel is concerned. Once again, if it's not actionable, it's information, not intelligence. Everything that you pay attention to should feed into an OODA loop. Really good thing. Behind me is a stream. If I know that upstream is a cow farm, I'm going to be really careful on whether or not I take water from there and how I treat said water, right? So, cow farm is information until I go, oh, I've observed cow farm. I'm orienting to the fact that it affects my water source. I decide to filter it. I filter it, right? Until I run through that process, it's only information. But yeah, just be aware of those things. Intel versus information. Your area, your surrounding areas, your ends, your surface signals, presence. Presence is something that's overlooked all the time. If you tell somebody you're going to do something, if you're gathering intel rather, and you tell somebody, hey, I'm going to do this, and you don't do it, your presence, your reputation just went, and that's how your life is going to be. Your life is going to be, that's poop. So yeah, just be aware of those things. Churches are going to be way more influential than they currently are because crises do that. Families in, especially like the rural South, or even like Italians, right? You make fun of an Italian woman, every man in her family is gonna have something to say about it. Put your comments down below. I may address them. I may not. My email is what is that thing? It's preparedmilitantchef@protonmail.com. You can email me there. You can comment down below. Whatever. You'll have a great one. Bye.